Very good morning. Today we'll study the anatomy of autonomic motor pathways and specifically the sympathetic division of autonomic motor pathways. Today the what are the anatomical components? Each the anatomical components each division of an autonomic nervous pathways, that is ANS, has two motor neurons. The first of the two motor neurons in any condition in any autonomic motor pathway is called preganglionic neuron. The first of the two motor neurons of autonomic motor pathway, the first is called as preganglionic neuron. Its cell body is in the brain or spinal cord. Okay. Its axon exits the CNS as a part of cranial or spinal nerves. The cell bodies remain in the brain and or in the spinal cord, and its axons exits the CNS as a part of cranial or spinal nerve. The axon of a preganglionic neuron is a small diameter myelinated type B fibers that usually extends to an autonomic ganglion where it synapses with a postganglionic neuron. Okay, the axon of a preganglionic neuron is a small diameter myelinated type B fiber that usually extends to an autonomic ganglion where it synapses with the postganglionic neuron. The postganglionic neuron lies entirely outside the central nervous system in the peripheral nervous system. Okay, the postganglionic neuron lies entirely outside the central nervous system in the peripheral nervous system. Its cell body and dendrites are located in an autonomic ganglion. Okay, now where it forms synapses with one or more preganglionic axons. The postganglionic neurons starts from the autonomic ganglions where it synapses with the one or more preganglionic axons. The axon of a postganglionic neuron is a small diameter unmyelinated type C fiber that terminates in a visceral effector. Thus, preganglionic neurons convey nerve impulses from the central nervous system to autonomic ganglia, and postganglionic neurons relay impulses from autonomic ganglia to visceral effectors. Autonomic means they supplies the visceral effectors. Okay, and the somatics are they supplies the somatic, the skeletal muscles, and these are they supplies the smooth muscles and the visceral other visceral organs, the glands, the liver, heart, pancreas, abdomen, other abdominal organs like stomach, intestines. So autonomic motor pathways, they supplies the visceral organs, and the peripheral nervous system and the somatic nervous system, they supplies the this your autonomic pathways. So now the preganglionic neurons in the sympathetic division, the preganglionic neurons have their cell bodies in the lateral horns of gray matter in the 12 thoracic segments. Okay, in the 12 thoracic segments, and the first two of the lumbar segments, first two or sometimes the three. Sometimes it involves the third lumbar level also. Okay, for this reason means the this sympathetic neurons, they starts from the T1 to L2 and sometimes L3, means T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7, T8, T9, T10, T11, T12, L1, L2, and sometimes L3 also is involved in this in this sympathetic division. That's why they are called as thoracolumbar division. Okay, For this reason, the sympathetic division is also called as thoracolumbar division, because it involves both thoracic and the lumbar vertebrae near the thoracic lumbar division. And the axons of the sympathetic preganglionic neurons are known as thoracolumbar outflow. Okay, the axons of the sympathetic preganglionic neurons are also known as thoracolumbar outflow. Now, the cell bodies of preganglionic neurons of parasympathetic division are located in the nuclei of 4 cranial nerves in the brainstem. See, the brain cell bodies of preganglionic neurons, that is of thoracolumbar division, is the sympathetic division, T2, T1 to L2, and sometimes L3. And the cell bodies of preganglionic neurons of parasympathetic division are located in the nuclei of 4 cranial nerves in the brainstem, that is 3rd, 7th, 9th and 10th. Okay, and in the lateral gray matter of the 2nd through 4th sacral segments of the spinal cord. Okay, so thoracolumbar from T1 to T12, the sympathetic. Then 4 cranial nerves, the cranial nerve number 3 oculomotor, 7 facial, 9 hypoglossal and the 10th vagus. This comes under the, and in the lateral gray matter of the 2nd, 3rd and 4th sacral segments of spinal cord. This comes under the parasympathetic division. The parasympathetic division is also called as craniosacral, because the 4 cranial nerves and the 3 sacral segments of spinal cord is also there. So that is the craniosacral division of this your parasympathetic division. And the axons of the parasympathetic ganglion neurons are referred to as the cranial sacral outflow. So parasympathetic is also known as craniosacral outflow, and the sympathetic is the thoracolumbar outflow. The neurons, the preganglionic neurons, have the different names. Now, the autonomic ganglia. See, there are 2 major groups of autonomic ganglia: sympathetic ganglia, which are the components of sympathetic division of autonomic nervous system, and parasympathetic ganglia, which are the components of the parasympathetic division of autonomic nervous system. Definitely, the 2 systems are different. The sympathetic division is different, and the parasympathetic division is different of the same autonomic nervous system. So the ganglia are also different for sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions of autonomic nervous system. For sympathetic ganglia for the sympathetic division, and parasympathetic ganglia for the parasympathetic division. Now, the sympathetic ganglia. Okay, now we'll consider the sympathetic nervous system of autonomic nervous system. One part of autonomic nervous system is the sympathetic nervous system, and the other part is the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, the sympathetic ganglia are the sites of synapses between the sites of synapses between the sympathetic preganglionic and postganglionic neurons. This synapses, the ganglia are the sites of synapses where the preganglionic and the postganglionic neurons communicate with each other. They make a synapse. So there are 2 major types of sympathetic ganglia. Okay, one is the sympathetic trunk ganglia, and the other is the prevertebral ganglia. Okay, there are 2 types of sympathetic ganglia. One is the sympathetic trunk ganglia, okay, and the other is the prevertebral ganglia. Okay, now sympathetic trunk ganglia lie in the vertical row on either side of the vertebral column. Okay, On either side of the vertebral column there is a vertical row, दोनों मतलब on both sides of vertebral column, on दोनों साइड vertebral column की दोनों sides पर there is vertical row of these ganglias. These ganglias are more of like nodules. They are present as a nodule. You can see in the picture. You feel like it's a swollen structure. They are present nearby the vertebral column on the both sides. So these ganglia extend from the base of the skull to the coccyx. Okay. Now, postganglionic axons from the sympathetic trunk ganglia primarily innervate organs above the diaphragm, such as the head, neck, shoulders, and heart. Okay. Now, sympathetic trunk ganglia in the neck have specific names. They are superior, middle, and inferior cervical ganglia because they are present in the neck region. That's why they have given the cervical, superior, middle, and inferior cervical ganglia, the sympathetic trunk ganglia. Okay, from the base of the skull to the coccyx. Okay. Now, the remaining sympathetic trunk ganglia do not have individual names. Okay, the other ganglia do not have their individual names because the sympathetic trunk ganglia are near the spinal cord. Most sympathetic preganglionic axons are short and most sympathetic postganglionic axons are long because they are coming out of from the spinal cord and they are making the synapse with the postganglionic neurons. So in the ganglia, that's why they are in short, and then postganglionic nerve fibers are long because they travel from the spinal cord to the effector organs. So they are more long. Now we can see the various length of the chain post ganglionic fibers. So here you can see motor neuron pathways in the somatic nervous system, okay, and the autonomic nervous system. Now they are comparing the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system here. So the somatic nervous system, the autonomic motor neuron release acetylcholine or norepinephrine. Okay, the acetylcholine or norepinephrine they release, and somatic motor neurons release only acetylcholine. Autonomic nervous system release two types of transmitters, the ACH and the or the norepinephrine. They are releasing norepinephrine also. Okay, and the somatic nervous system they release the ACH only, the acetylcholine only. Now, see, somatic nervous system stimulation always excites its effector skeletal muscle fibers. Stimulation by the somatic nervous system either excites or inhibits the visceral effectors. Somatic nervous system stimulation always excites the effectors. Okay, somatic nervous system always excites the effectors. That's why they release only ACH. Okay, they brings about the excitement in the movement of the muscles, the somatic nervous system, while the autonomic nervous system they excite also and they inhibit also. They do the both. Like autonomic nervous system, sympathetic is the excitatory, sympathetic division is the excitatory part, and the parasympathetic division is the inhibitory part. Means they reduces the when there is increase, for example, when you need increase in heart rate, then sympathetic division is activated. When the heart rate is more and you need to reduce it, your body need to reduce it, then the parasympathetic division will get activated. Okay, so autonomic nervous system has ACH also for activation and norepinephrine for parasympathetic activity. Okay, so and somatic nervous system has only one activity, the that this one. Okay, the acetylcholine release for excitatory effect. Here you can see from the spinal cord, and some from the spinal cord they release the sympathetic preganglionic neuron to the autonomic ganglia. That is in the sympathetic division there is the sympathetic trunk ganglia or prevertebral ganglia. Okay, sympathetic, here it is the sympathetic trunk ganglia. Okay, for example, the autonomic ganglia, parasympathetic preganglionic neuron myelinated, and then the autonomic ganglia, then sympathetic postganglionic neurons unmyelinated to the effector smooth muscles, urinary muscles, glands, cardiac muscle in the heart. Okay, smooth muscle, for example, urinary bladder. So the sympathetic preganglionic fibers are myelinated, and the parasympathetic preganglionic fibers are unmyelinated. Okay, now the sympathetic preganglionic neurons, they are uh, see uh, to the adrenal medulla. Okay, now this you can see the sympathetic preganglionic neurons from the spinal cord, they are going into the adrenal medulla. Now the adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla, you can you know that, and there is cremophine cells, and there is epinephrine and norepinephrine. They releases the epinephrine and the norepinephrine both. See, you can see epinephrine, and Ne is the norepinephrine to the blood vessels. Okay, so this is the directly to the organs. Okay, now the last picture is of the picture B is of autonomic nervous system parasympathetic division. Spinal cord, the parasympathetic preganglionic neuron myelinated to the autonomic ganglia, and the parasympathetic postganglionic neuron is unmyelinated to the effector organs like glands, muscles of heart, urinary bladder, and your other smooth muscles. Okay, other smooth muscles of blood vessels and all. So this sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves are different, and they form the different ganglions also. Okay, now you can see the second group of sympathetic ganglia is the prevertebral or collateral ganglia. Okay, because the sympathetic trunk ganglia is receiving for the upper half of the body above the diaphragm, from the head, neck, your heart, and the upper trunk. Okay, so innervates the organs above the diaphragm, such as head, neck, shoulders, heart. Okay, above the diaphragm. So this prevertebral or collateral ganglia, they lies in the interior of the vertebral column and close to the large abdominal arteries. They innervate organs below the diaphragm. There are 5 major prevertebral ganglia. Okay, they innervates the muscles below the diaphragm, matlab the remaining part of your body. Upper is by the sympathetic trunk ganglia, and lower is by the prevertebral or collateral ganglia. Okay, now the 5 major prevertebral ganglia are the celiac ganglion, is on the either side of the celiac trunk, an artery that is just inferior to diaphragm. The superior mesenteric ganglion, near the beginning of the superior mesenteric artery in the upper abdomen. The inferior mesenteric ganglion, near the beginning of the inferior mesenteric artery in the middle of the abdomen. The aortico-renal ganglion, the renal ganglion are near the renal artery of each kidney. Okay, these are the 5 groups of prevertebral ganglions which supplies the various effector organs for the, like the celiac ganglion supplies the arteries that is just inferior to the diaphragm. They are present near the diaphragm, in just inferior to the celiac and artery. And the superior mesenteric, inferior mesenteric, aortico-renal, and the renal ganglia. These are the names given to the ganglia. Now see the prevertebral ganglia and the this your sympathetic trunk ganglia. Okay, see the structure of the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. Solid lines represent the preganglionic fibers and the dotted line represents the postganglionic fibers. Although the innervated structures are shown for only one of the sides, but they innervate both the sides. The sympathetic division actually innervates tissues and organs on both the sides. Cell bodies of sympathetic preganglionic neurons are located in the lateral horn of the gray matter in the 12 thoracic and 2 lumbar segments in the spinal cord. Okay, now see the sympathetic trunk ganglia, that is from the base of the skull to the T2 to T3 level. Okay, so this is the from superior cervical ganglia, middle cervical ganglia, and the inferior cervical ganglia. There is preganglionic fibers and the 12 thoracic and the 2 or 3 lumbar ganglia. Okay, now the prevertebral ganglia are the ganglia which see upper half is supplied by this sympathetic trunk ganglia. You can see till the your brain, sublingual and submandibular glands, eyes. Okay, pineal gland, lacrimal gland, mucous membrane. Distribute it is primarily to the smooth muscles of blood vessels. These organs: pineal gland, lacrimal gland, mucous membrane of nose and palate, and the parotid gland. This is the superior cervical ganglia. The postganglionic fibers from the superior cervical ganglia, the sublingual and the submandibular glands. Now, some of the atrial muscle fibers, AV nodes, and the ventricular muscle fibers. These are supplied by this middle cervical ganglia and the inferior cervical ganglia, and the lungs by this other sympathetic trunk ganglia, trachea, bronchi, lungs. Okay, now this is the upper half of the body, the sympathetic trunk ganglia. Okay, the lower half is by the prevertebral ganglia. Okay, now you can see the greater splanchnic nerves, the lesser splanchnic nerves, the least splanchnic nerves, okay, and the lumbar splanchnic nerves. So these are forming the various prevertebral ganglia. Just in front of the vertebral bodies they are present. There are the aortico-renal ganglia, celiac ganglia, the superior mesenteric ganglia, and the renal ganglia, and the inferior mesenteric ganglia. Okay, they supply the organs below the diaphragm, below the diaphragm, like liver, the stomach, intestine, pancreas, spleen, transverse colon, like ascending and descending colon. Okay, the sympathetic division till the rectum. Okay, urinary bladder, your external genitals of both male and female in the various parts. Now, next is the see there supplies the here you can see the sweat glands also. The T5 layer they are supplying the sweat glands, hair follicles, smooth muscle, blood vessels. Each sympathetic trunk ganglia innervates skin and the viscera. Blood vessels में each sympathetic trunk innervates the skin and the viscera. Okay, the sympathetic trunk ganglia on both the sides. It's present from base of the skull to the S3 level. Okay, S2 थी, S3 लेवल, S4 लेवल. So this is about the uh, presence of your parasympathetic, this sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. Now you can see the same thing they have explained here. The postganglionic neurons, once the axons of the sympathetic preganglionic neurons pass to the sympathetic trunk ganglia, they may connect the postganglionic neurons in one of the following ways. Once the axons of the sympathetic preganglionic neurons pass to the sympathetic trunk ganglia, they may connect to the postganglionic neurons in one of the following ways. Okay, now in this happens in the your autonomic ganglias. What happens in the autonomic ganglias? An axon may synapse with postganglionic neurons in the ganglia and it first reaches. Okay, एक ये हो सकता है कि an axon may synapse with postganglionic neurons in the ganglion it first reaches. Then और क्या हो सकता है? An axon may ascend or descend to a higher or lower ganglia before synapsing with the postganglionic neurons. या तो सिर्फ वहाँ से निकलकर किसी और गैंग्लिया में synapse कर सकता है. Like the axons of the incoming sympathetic preganglionic neurons that passes up or down the sympathetic trunk collectively form the sympathetic chains, the fiber on which the ganglia are strung. ठीक है, या तो वो डायरेक्ट उससे साइनेप्स कर लेगा पोस्ट गैंग्लियोनिक न्यूरॉन से, या फिर वो वहाँ से पास होकर ऊपर या नीचे की किसी और गैंग्लिया से सिंपैथेटिक चेन बनाकर ऊपर या नीचे के लेवल पे साइनेप्स करेगा. An axon may continue without synapsing through the sympathetic trunk ganglia to end at the prevertebral ganglion and synapse with the postganglionic neurons here. So what happens? या तो फिर वो वहाँ से पास होकर सिंपैथेटिक जो पोस्ट गैंग्लियोनिक न्यूरॉन्स में सिंपैथेटिक गैंग्लिया से पास होकर वो प्री वर्टिब्रल गैंग्लिया में चला जाएगा. बिकॉज उसको इफ दे आर लोकेटेड, इफ दे हैव टू सप्लाई दी this your lower abdominal, the organs below the lower abdomen, so it just pass through that without synapsing through the sympathetic trunk ganglia to end in at the prevertebral ganglia and synapse with the postganglionic neurons there. तो वो वहाँ पर उससे synapse करेगा. Then an axon may also pass without synapsing through the sympathetic trunk ganglia and a prevertebral ganglia and then extend to Crimeffen cells. This is the third type of the adrenal medulla that are functionally similar to the sympathetic postganglionic neurons. या फिर वो अगर वो प्रीवर्टिब्रल गैंग्लियंस पोस्टवर्टिब्रल गैंग्लियन से भी नहीं साइनेप्स कर रहा है, सिंपैथेटिक ट्रंक गैंग्लियन से भी नहीं साइनेप्स कर रहा है, तो सीधे सिंपैथेटिक दिस एड्रिनल मेडुला के sympathetic postganglion neurons जो वहाँ पर Crimeffen cells तक वो then extend to the Crimeffen cells of the adrenal medullae. They are functionally similar to the sympathetic postganglionic neurons. Okay, वो Crimeffen cells तक चला जाएगा as they are similar as to sympathetic postganglionic neurons. Okay, so these are the different ways how the postganglionic neurons synapse with the preganglionic neurons. A single sympathetic preganglionic fiber has many axons, collaterals. Branches may synapse with 20 or more postganglionic neurons. This pattern of projection is an example of divergence and helps explain why many sympathetic responses affect most of the entire body simultaneously. Means, see, single sympathetic preganglionic fibers has many axons, collaterals, many axon collaterals or branches, and may synapse with 20 or more postganglionic neurons. Okay, one preganglionic fiber synapse with 20 or more postganglionic neurons. So this pattern, this reflects the why the sympathetic activity affects most of the entire body simultaneously, because there it is synapsing with the more 20 or more postganglionic neurons. After exiting their ganglia, the postganglionic axons typically terminate in several visceral effectors. So, lots of effectors are simultaneously they are getting postganglionic axons from the various this affected organs, from the various preganglionic neurons. So that's why there is more simultaneous effect on the various organs, more than one organ in the sympathetic, when the sympathetic ganglion is present, sympathetic division is activated. Now, axons of the preganglionic neurons of the parasympathetic division pass to terminal ganglia near or within a visceral effector. Okay. In the ganglia, the synaptic neuron usually synapses with only 4 or 5 uh, postsynaptic neurons. See, in parasympathetic division, when the neurons pass to the terminal ganglia near or within the visceral effector, okay, axons of the preganglionic neurons of parasympathetic division pass to terminal ganglia near or within a visceral effector. So, in the ganglion near or within a visceral effector, the presynaptic in the ganglion, the presynaptic neuron usually synapses with only 4 or 5 postsynaptic neurons. They are in the sympathetic division, they are synapsing with 20 or more postganglion neurons. Here they are synaptic with 4 or 5 postsynaptic neurons, all of which supply a single visceral effector, okay, allowing parasympathetic responses to be localized to a single effector. So parasympathetic response is more localized and sympathetic response is more generalized, more organs are involved in that. So this is about the sympathetic, and we'll study the parasympathetic in detail afterwards, the how parasympathetic division is distributed, but this is all about the sympathetic division of the your this autonomic nervous system, how they are distributed in the upper body level, this sympathetic trunk ganglia to the upper body level, and the prevertebral ganglia to the lower body, means below the diaphragm of below the diaphragm they supplies the various visceral organs. That's all about